is a good road you're bringing us down here, Zara.
It's only about 5 minutes away from the rock carvings.
100 meters, your destination will be on the left.
There you go. So the nanny's telling us, so we're roughly in the right thing. So we're off to see some rock carvings today. Zara read about Swedish rock carvings.
Yes. Okay, we've just parked up near the rock carving, so we're just going to go and have a look and we'll show you what we see.
Where are we, Zara?
We are at...
What time is it? Do you know what time it is? What's your
it's got to be about...
Yeah.
My phone says 11:27.
There you go. So it's 11:27.
Yep.
It's 10 Celsius. It's pretty cold though, isn't it?
It is.
Windy.
It's a quiet Sunday.
Yeah.
And we're here to see
yes,
the rock
quiet
carvings.
Sunday. See the rock. No, but what I've seen is this. Look at that. You see that curvy little thing? Now, this is where I'm 57 years old, but this is where the inner child comes out on me. Because all the men watching this now are all thinking the same thing. Ski electric!
Oh my God.
There you go. I nearly fell and broke my neck. Zara's coming now.
Yes.
So she's going to have the sim. It's very slippy.
Oh.
I didn't know that until I was running down it.
No, that's why you almost fell over.
That's why I almost fell over.
So I
caught
my camera going quick enough to
I caught it on
you.
film. Flashes of death. See?
Oh,
Now tell me, men watching this, would you do the same thing? I'm thinking you would. Yeah. So.
It's a bit slippy. I'm glad
It is a bit slippy, yeah.
Stick.
So here she is. We could have just come the easy way, this way.
Oh yeah, that's true, yeah.
No, we'll go this way.
No.
We've got another one now.
Oh my God.
Zara's first this time. I'll let her go and we'll reconnect at the top. We reached the top up the slippy bank. We made it.
Conquered it.
We conquered it. Okay.
Oh,
And this is what's here to greet you. I hope you could see that. It's all, I think they've highlighted it in red, which is standard what they do. So that you can read it. I can see what they mean about the wires, the ships. You got the ships there.
Over there.
Yeah, and then.
And obviously the human is like the dominant feature, so.
Yeah,
so
but you can see how the human goes over the top of the ship. So that's going to be the youngest, isn't it? And the ships are going to be the oldest. So as each pattern goes over the next, and what they choose to lay and when. So
I presume they probably haven't done it all in one time frame. They could have been different time frames, and people have just added to it over time.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Who would have thought that in Sweden that they would have rock art?
Yeah, I didn't know, but of course they will have. You know,
Yeah,
people have been here a long time, so.
Yeah. And I don't know how I came across this. It was just, I was on good old Google and
so these are 2,500 years old, which is pretty good for Europe, and you know, that's pretty impressive, isn't it? Some human 2,500 years ago chipped that into the rock. So for them to chip that into the rock, that's important to them.
Yes.
To do that. So all that effort and energy, or it's important to the community, or it's important to them individually, and they've chipped that in, and they've chose to represent that. So what does the ship represent? Does it represent freedom, or does it represent danger?
Travel? Maybe they
enemy,
were overlanding then.
Maybe they were overlanders. You know, and there's people on this one. Like, you see the people on it? They've got people on it. Or is that a representation of what they see? And then what happened over here? You see these ones?
Oh yes.
See if I can zoom in. I don't think you can see that, but there's like unfinished ones. So, yeah.
Maybe they went.
This is my.
Coffee.
Yeah, I think maybe they went home for coffee. Why not? And there you go. You got a bit of a representation here. I am not an archaeologist, just so people know.
But you are an anthropologist.
But I am an anthropologist.
So you could give a good stab at
so
what this
ask
means.
me about the motivations of the people doing this, but don't ask me anything else technical. Zara, on the other hand, is a bloody genius. So
I'm just a scientist.
She's just a scientist, yeah. She would tell you what tool they used to chip these away and how they made it. She'd probably make it for you.
Oh dear. Is Paul doing another drone shot?
This is drone shots for cheapskates and people that don't know like technology. So there you go.
Which is pretty apt for us.
Yes. There's Chanel down there. If you ask us why we call it Chanel, I'll tell you. It's a good, interesting story actually. Thank you, the teenagers in Sydney that called it Chanel. We're back to Zara, who's laughing at me. Stop laughing at me.
I laugh at you a lot.
She laughs at me all the time, yeah. Not surprisingly. Right, I'm going to step down now. So you don't see this on drone shots. There you go.
Okay, you did that in one piece.
I did, I'm dainty. And there seems to be a walkway going up there. I don't know if you fancy that. It's a bit of a climb though.
Oh, that's...
Right, we're going to try all that again. We had a bit of a problem there. So we've come up the steps down here after we did our drone shot. There's Chanel. You see Chanel down there. Right, you can see it, yeah. There's Zara. Look at, hello. Yeah.
We saying hello for a change.
I know. And then this is what we've come to see. Now, we think this is about 2,500 to 3,000 years old, right? But I'm not an archaeologist, so I can't give you any more details than that. But it is all done at different time frames, as you can see, and it represents ships. I think you can see that there. There's quite a lot of those actually. You see the one there, and obviously figures, human figures, and what's really interesting is symbols and little feet there. I don't know if you can see that, but it's like a foot pattern. And then you've got animals, and then just dots, and then just one foot down there. So it's pretty good that in this area 3,000 years ago it would have looked similar, I guess, but maybe not. But there would have been people like you and I trying to make sense of the world, which we're all doing that now. So we share that. We have a link to the past. I'm going to go back to Zara. What do you think, Zara?
I think it's brilliant. I was just reading up here, and apparently the biggest figure you've just seen is called a spear god.
Right.
And he's 230 centimetres, but he's actually the largest rock carving person in Scandinavia.
Oh.
That is it.
That's cool. We didn't know this existed,
no,
did we? We just read about it like as a quick little brief, like Zara did.
Yeah, I'm the one that gets books out.
let's just flick this camera a second here, right? Let's have some honesty truth here.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
I don't do research. No. I am a researcher actually. That's I've got a degree in it, but yes. I don't do research. But yes, Zara does the research.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm the one that gets all enthusiastic, jumps up and down, and got to know more about a place.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did a bit of research, and I think because of indigenous rock carvings that we've seen in Australia, that kind of drew me, thinking, is there anything equivalent in Europe to see? So that's how we landed on Sweden and these rock carvings.
Yeah, well the process is obviously similar and the motivation is obviously similar, but they are different in context and contextually, but apart from, so they're more alike than apart. The ages are different of course, but so...
But you get an idea of the boats and the potential that they've probably travelled. They've probably...
Well, it's about recording their life around them, isn't it? So
it is. It's very good. And also, it was a funny thing here. It says about in the Bronze Age, all the figurines were very basic, but in the Iron Age, they got a lot more detail.
Because of the tool change.
Because of the tool change, but also the emotions, and they were just putting a lot more into the
Yeah, that would make
drawings.
sense. Wish I'd have said that. Yeah. Anyway, so...
You could pretend you said it.
Yeah, I told her that, and then, we'll play it backwards. So, anyway, stop being silly, Paul. I've had breakfast today. What's wrong with me today? I don't know.
Oh, well, it was a weird breakfast.
It was a weird breakfast today,
Yes.
Yeah, it was like a motorway service station,
Lukewarm.
From the 50s, and it was lukewarm, the food, not the service station. So, it was a bit odd.
Yeah, but it was lovely. It was a great experience. It's one
room
that we
was
will
nice.
remember.
The hotel room was nice and hot. Good shower.
It was lovely.
Yeah, the room was cheap. What more do you want?
Cheap?
Well, it was cheaper than some of the places.
Well, it was 1,600 sec, which is probably about, I don't know, 160 Aussie dollars, something like that. My maths isn't great this morning.
My maths is even worse, so I thought that was cheap. Obviously that's not cheap, so...
No.
Yeah. So...
But it's brilliant. I'm really glad we've come here. It's just this small patch, but it's still worth it.
This is a bit of an in-joke between anthropologists and archaeologists, right? So we tend to have a bit of a rivalry because they're the sister discipline to us. But as you can see there, it says the spear god compared to the other ones. So this is the big fella here. The joke is, when archaeologists don't know what something is, they call it spiritual or ceremonial, or it's god figures. So when it's probably something entirely different. They just don't know. So that's something for you to know. When an archaeologist says that, they don't know what it is. Whether this will make it through the final edit and Zara chops it out, I don't know. But that's a better view, isn't it? There. Look at that view. That's a pretty good view, actually. I'll put an edit thing in here. There's edit. Right, starting again. There you go. Doesn't that look fantastic? I love archaeologists. It's amazing to think that all that time ago there was people very similar to us with a similar psyche, and they were trying to understand the world and the environment around them.
Exactly.
That's why they wrote that there.
And to be honest,
that's what an anthropologist would say.
And it's no different to what we do now. We document things, we vlog, we photos, etc. And we have our ideas of what our gods are, and
smart one, stupid one.
Well, it's just that whatever they did then, they do that now.
Yes.
It's just looks different, but it's exactly the same feelings. We all have the same ideas. We all want to be safe. We want to look after ourselves and our family and just enjoy life around us.
Yes.
And they would do it slightly differently to us,
people.
but it's still the same emotions.
Yes.
That's the same.
If you want to understand your neighbours, go and have a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Yeah. And don't get politicians involved.
Because they only think of themselves.
Yes. It's a very brave decision, to quote our favourite TV. It's a courageous decision.
Yes.
Watch Yes Minister and you'll know what that means. So, that'll be another edit on it. Edit! Have some coffee and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Right guys, we just come across this sign. We're just leaving, but this is really interesting. This was the, I think if you can't, if I zoom in, yeah, that's the thing I was saying that looks like an unfinished. What was this? But they think it's always open. It's always a bit subjective, but they think that's a boat. They look like that. That's a better picture there, isn't it? Yeah. So that's really interesting that they had that kind of transport system, if it's true, you know. And then Zara and I were just talking about why they picked that spot to rock carve, and you can see from this they're predicting there's other things in other areas. So these are the questions you've got to ask you these things. Why did people choose this spot? What meaning did it have to them? What connection to the land? So we've been joined by someone else. We're just going to go back to Chanel there. She's just behind. And then we're going to go off somewhere else. What do you reckon, Zara? World Heritage is this?
I think it's, World Heritage.
Yeah, second one we've seen on this trip. Okay, let's... Zara's going to take some pictures and I'll head back to the car.
Try again.
Are we off?
Yeah.
We're off.
We're off once I got out of the photo mode. So we're in Flagel something. Sorry.
Yeah, FJAIL.
Yeah. It's like a little coastal town that's just past the rock carving. Sorry.
Yeah, we decided to take the rock carving south. Sorry, the rock carving south? Well, what does that mean? I don't know. We decided to take the road south from the rock carvings, but it's the one that's skirting the coast road. So it's a coast road. So it's slower, more picturesque, beautiful, you know. We like
wow,
that.
Look at that church over there. Oh my God. I don't know, it's like
stone church, unusual.
In 200
yeah,
meters,
beautiful.
you will arrive at your destination.
Yeah, so just show her up. We don't need her.
No, we know where we are.
We know where we are. Nanny GPS there.
Oh, it's cute. I love this.
So yeah, so we're gonna just meander around, which is our version of just having a look around.
Yeah, or following our nose.
Following our nose, as I say, in the north, and we're just gonna see what there is here. It's kind of, Mazara and I are a bit unusual because we don't do the touristy things, we don't tick boxes, and we kind of like towns when they're a little bit, what's the word?
Well, we'd say,
yeah.
rough around the
Rough
edges,
around the
maybe.
Edges, normal, yeah. So
just more realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as you can see, you've got like, I'll show you an example. You know, I'll go down here. I don't know where this road goes, but we'll go down here. You can see you've got just normal houses, normal diggers, people just doing normal life. This is what we like. We don't go always for the glamour of travel. No. So I'm going to stop here because there's a person crossing the road here. So there's a little sign here. I don't know what it says.
But this is kind of sort of typical of what we do, is we just kind of look, explore, and just take in life around us. And if there's a really spot that catches our attention, we'll just stop the car, wander around.
We don't really do that whole kind of like, because people say, have you been there, have you been there? That's all the big ticket items. We kind of get to a country, pick a spot on the map, explore it, go down all the minor towns, and just to look around. You know, I always remember a certain person we met in a campsite in Australia, and it was a woman, and she said to us a similar thing. She said, I don't go to the big ticket items because I know what they look like. I can see that on Google. You know, and at the time I thought that was a bit of a miserable thing to say, but I kind of realised now what she was implying, you know, and she spends her time as we do in these places, you know, but it's not for everyone, we realise that.
But this is our way of travelling. And when people say to us, you know, what was your favourite place? Well, sometimes we don't know what the name of the towns are. We just come across a spot and we get an experience out of it, and that stays with us.
We've been asked numerous times how many countries we've been to, haven't we? And it's like, because we've travelled so around the world so many times, I couldn't tell you how many countries we've been to because we don't count them. There's no benefit to counting a country. So,
but we have pretty much been on all continents and explored some of them quite wildly. I
mean, we've driven on most of them. So, driven in Africa, Asia.
Yes.
What else have we driven?
Scotland.
Australia, Scotland, Europe, America. South America.
South America, yes. That was a good one.
So we don't know where we are. We don't know what we're doing. Tune in next week for more adventures of not knowing anything.
So this is not exactly your sort of slick YouTube channel where we've got it very defined. We'll show you all the Instagram shots. We'll do everything as you expect. Unfortunately, we just don't do it that way.
No, we're not. We're kind of like budget, independent, and off the beaten track. So
we just like to explore and just let the world unwind around us.
Look at that view.
Now that is beautiful.
Yeah, you're not going to get that on Instagram. I'm going to pull over here.
I really wonder why I fool myself again and again. 'Cause I sit here